At age 5, I started playing football for a youth football league, Pop Warner Prowlers in Palm Harbor, and I played there for about 2 years. And then my family realized that we were close to the River Ridge High School, and they had a Knights of PAL football team, and they knew that eventually I was going to be playing for that middle school team and the high school team. So they wanted to start me at a young age to develop with all the coaches that are already around the area. So I started playing for the River Ridge PAL team, and I met a lot of friends there. One of them, Braden Cook, he's playing with me now. He's like one of my best friends. I also played in a spring football league, FSYFL football, travel 8-on-8, and it's been with all my friends from middle school. And we had our Coach Nate, and my dad, and we've been playing since Pop Warner, and we all just came together and put a team together, and we've been playing it for like 4 years, from like ages 8 to 12. And it's been an amazing time out there, traveling, playing teams from Georgia, Florida, and Alabama, and just having great experiences out there. We also won the championship for one of the years for the state of Florida. So coming into 7th grade, I was a little nervous for football, due to me being the younger kid and knew a coach. Because I had my Coach Nate, and my dad for my whole life growing up from PAL and Pop Warner. So, but I still had all my friends coming in 7th grade football, so that was a big help. And it was a good year. I think we were like 5-3, but we were all working together, and we weren't really that close to the 8th graders, but it was all right. So then we finished that season off, and then we came into our 8th grade year. Everyone was used to the program, knew the coach. We were all gelling together, and then I think we finished that year undefeated and won the district championship. So that was a great feeling, going into high school, knowing that we have a good future ahead of us. So for my freshman year, I was going into playing with my old coach from my whole life, Coach Nate, and that was a big help because stepping up from middle school to high school was a big difference. And I was going to be the receiver because I knew he already had a quarterback, and I was just going to help the team out in any way it needed. And then the quarterback ended up getting hurt, so I needed to step up, and I knew I had a chance to lead the team. So I took the role, and I led the team to a successful year. So overall, my freshman year ended up really successful, and at the end of the year, the coaches believed that I could come up and play on the varsity level and getting some experience by watching them play, even if I'm not getting in the game. And we took a trip to Key West to play them, which is a 4-hour drive, and it was just an amazing time out there, hanging out with all the older guys and just having a blast. So for my sophomore year, we all came back off a good freshman year, and we were all excited to attack all the games we were coming up to. And we had the same group we've been playing with our whole lives. I think for the sophomore year, we finished 8-1. I was playing quarterback and safety, and throughout the year, I was getting pulled up to play varsity, and my sophomore year to play safety, to help out, to back up the other safety that was starting. And that was a big confidence booster for me because I was just playing down, and then I didn't know what I was going to expect. And then them giving me encouragement to telling me that I can play back up on that level was very helpful. And for my junior year, I did not play any quarterback. There was a quarterback in front of me that was already going to be a senior, and he played the year before that. And I just knew I had to help out the team some way. And I've been an athlete my whole life. I've played multiple sports, and I know I can do anything the team needs me to do. So I was playing receiver and safety, and I think I had like 600 yards receiving my junior year for a receiver, and that helped the team out a lot. We didn't end up that successful our senior year. We came up one game short from district championships. I think we ended up 5-5. I mean, we lost one game in the district, but one of my favorite plays of my junior season was on defense when I was playing safety in the countryside game, the district game, and we had the lead. I think it was like 14-0, and they were trying to get some points on the board, and they were about to take a deep shot. And I flipped my hips around and picked the ball off on the 1-yard line on a jump ball, and that was very exciting for the whole team. On offense, my junior season at receiver was in the Freedom game. On the first drive, I think it was, I had like a 35-yard touchdown catch, and I drove my legs and fought through the end zone.
So I was hired in January of this past year. Moved my family out here early February, I believe is when I started here at the school. And, prior to me coming out here and when I was hired and going through the interview process, one of the first things that I did was to make sure that I got a chance to kind of look at what the offense was and what the defense was and how the kids played, see if the kids kind of played to the competitive level that I'm used to playing at. And then, a couple of players kind of stood out, and Logan Howard was one of those guys. When I came into school, I had my first meeting. I got a chance to meet all the players, and again, I kind of made it a point to make sure that I was able to meet some of our returning senior players. And I found out very early on that Logan was a very competitive player, a very competitive person, period. Whether it was football or anything, and that really kind of played to my spirit because I'm a very competitive person as well. And once I got a chance to kind of see him throw in a couple of practices early on, in I believe like March or so, and then we had a couple of 707s, I thought that he would be a player that would be able to develop as a pretty good quarterback here in Pasco County.
My senior goals for on the field for my senior season would be I wanted to achieve 2,000 yards passing and 1,000 yards rushing. I know it's a high goal for a quarterback, but I know I'm a dual threat and I can make it happen. So I just wanted to set a high standard because if you're not setting high standards, there's no point. Senior season definitely creeped up on me fast. I mean, it's just from all the years since I was 5, I never thought I'd be here, but it is. And I just had the biggest support from my parents from all the way from since I was 5 years old, just taking me to every practice. That just means a lot. It's out of their time, out of their day. It's just crazy. And my dad, especially, my biggest fan. He's taught me to never quit or give up on anything you ever do with your team or in your life.
Yeah, so Logan's a very, very intelligent young man. Again, when we started early on in the process, I kind of threw some things at him that I thought may have been a little bit complex for where we were at that stage in our development, with me being a new coach out here. And he really was able to pick him up. He asked some great questions early on. And then, throughout the spring, I'm doing grade checks every week, and he's consistently, he's a 4.0 student. I don't know, I hope you mind if I tell this story, but, I do great. When I'm doing grade checks, I send messages out to the kids. If they did great, I tell them they did great, and if they need work, I tell them where they need to work in the classes they need to work on. And I think he had one class that was like a B at the time because he maybe had like an assignment or two that was out. So I sent the message out to him about him not having the A. And I think that he got in contact with the teacher, and within like a half hour, I look back at the grades, and he has an A now. So when I mean competitive academically, athletically. The kid is just a kid who likes to win, and I think that's been part of his. Even as a basketball player, when I first came in, he was in basketball season last year, and I know that he was very competitive on the basketball court. I messed around, and I'll never do this again, but I played them on the basketball court one time and realized that I'm not playing them ever again because he's just so competitive on the basketball court, plus I'm getting too old for that.
In high school, I mainly focused on football and basketball. Football is basically my everything growing up, but I also was a multi-sport athlete. I wanted to do everything. I played soccer at age 4, I believe, and I played baseball at a young age too. And just keeping me active is what my parents were always doing, and that's just the best thing to do. My favorite moment for basketball in high school actually was last year as a junior. We played Springstead High School, and the game was neck and neck the whole game. We were playing an amazing game, but they came back at the end, and I knew I had to lead the team, and I think it was about 20 seconds left, and I took a floater from the midline, and that gave us the go-ahead lead, and they could not come back from that, and that was the game-winning point.
Everything that I know about Logan is I hear good things about him. He's great in the classroom. He's got great grades. 4.0 student, 4.1 GPA. I know that he's going to have a bright future as we look towards college, and I believe he also has his own business that he runs on the side as well. So a little bit of an entrepreneur, kind of go-getter. Strong work ethic. He's typically one of the first ones to finish up, our sprints and just kind of leading and building our program. And he's kind of been the glue to kind of keep that transition from the old staff and the old way that they did things and these new kids, and then just really trying to get everybody to understand my way of doing things as a new coach. So I appreciate that for him, and like I said, I think he's going to leave. He's going to leave the school with a pretty good legacy here when it's all said and done.
After graduation, I would love to get the opportunity to continue my athletic career playing football in college. It's been a dream for a while now, and it would just be amazing to come true. And I'm just ready for the challenges on and off the field, whatever it takes to be successful in my life.